and welcome to episode 3 of the Southern Berlin podcast. I'm Ellie, and today is Sunday, the 26th of February. I'm in a different room today. I'm upstairs in the bedroom at the farm today. Bit late podcasting. We've been at the farm all week and doing amazing things. Excuse the woofing in the background today. We've got the neurotic dog in the background, and every little sound here at the moment, she seems to be barking. So you may see a little face appear. I've got the bed there that my dad made us just over the back of me, and she's lying on the bed. Right, so we've been here all week at the farm. I've done a bit of videoing, I've taken some photos, because we've had lots going on here this week. So I'll add that to the end of the podcast for anybody who's interested in having a look at that. So let's get into it then. Knitting. I finished the Daydreamer sweater for William. He's worn it. I can't physically pick it up and show it to you here because unfortunately last night we decided to give him spaghetti bolognese, and yeah, it's kind of covered in spaghetti bolognese. So I'll insert some photos. I have taken plenty of photos of him wearing it. So that's the Daydreamer by Jennifer Steengas. I've also finished, yay! Haven't woven in the ends or anything yet, so we've still got all the spaghetti. But I have finished the Deco mug mat. Ta-da! In double knit, so it's absolutely huge. So it is probably around about the biggest mug rug I've seen. So, but it's finished. Hooray! And by the end, I actually quite liked, particularly these sort of bits of the brioche knitting. It was quite rhythmical and quite pleasant to do when you weren't having to worry about increasing and decreasing and the amount of times I frogged it in the beginning. So, finished object, second finished object. I have a half-finished object to show you as well. I have got... I'm down onto the toes of my Heath socks. This is in my Stardust sock weight base, so it's all sparkly. And I've got nearly a sock. Nearly finished a sock. So I can't wait. I've done a knit one slip one heel on these just to make it a bit thicker, because we are going to be wearing welly boots an awful lot up here. So you know, they're going to need, and walking boots, so they're going to need to be pretty hard wearing to cope with farm life eventually. So half finished object, hooray! I've also finished, but I haven't brought them with me to the farm, the owl hat and the owl puff. Which I said I would try and finish for February, and I have just managed to squeeze them in before coming away to the farm. So I will insert some photos of them here. So that's really about it for knitting. I'm going to be fairly monogamous, I think, and work on my socks till they're completed. And I might pick up, see if there's any more quickly finished projects in my whip walk of shame. Let's see if there's any that are easily finished off, and I'll get on with those. But more about those maybe in the next one. On to sewing. This week, being at the farm, I have sewn and hemmed an awful lot of curtains, it feels like. Hallway curtains go across the entire width of the hallway, and were, I think, around about, well, it was 3 widths of fabric each curtain, so they're quite hefty curtains to have sewn. But I have sewn curtains for the utility, the hall, and I've hemmed the bedroom ones, and we've got curtain poles now, so they're all up, so I shall insert some photos of them here. And we went into Carmarthen, as I said, picked up all the curtain poles, went into Dunelm and then into B&Q and picked up curtain poles, curtain hooks, and did all those bits and pieces. Now I'm going to stretch out of sight. For my other finished article, I have finished my pyjama trousers with elasticated waistband, pockets, and in my lovely snuggly sheepy fleece. I haven't quite finished off the ends yet, but they are now wearable, which is amazing. The first night at the farm, a couple of weeks ago, yeah, I think a couple of weeks ago, our bedroom was literally between 7 and 9 degrees on us coming to bed, so it was freezing. So instead of getting into flimsy little pyjamas, I now have snuggly warm fleecy ones. Yay! The other thing I finished in sewing is William's little t-shirt. Again, I can't hold it up, much like the Daydreamer, I can't hold it up and show you because he's worn it and it is now in the washing pile as well. But I have finished off his little t-shirt. It's an Elemento pattern and I'll insert the details of it below and insert a photo of it here because it is very sweet. So that's my finished objects for my sewing. I've also been doing an awful lot of cutting out this week. I have cut out a whole bag full. I'll insert the photo of the pile of what I've cut out here. Cut out 2 pairs of dungarees for William, one in a brown cord, one in a grey cord, both with tractor facings. I've cut out, with the same fabric, the cord fabric, I found that I had enough to do 2 pairs of trousers for him, so one grey, one brown. I've cut out sheepy fleecy trousers for William and sheepy fleecy jumper for William. I've cut out 2 Agnes tops, both for me, one completely in a black jersey fabric from Minerva Crafts. I was a little surprised when I opened it. It's slightly sparkly, so I was hoping it was going to be one of the matte ones, so that's obviously my fault for not reading properly what was on the website. So the second Agnes top is black body and from Minerva Crafts again, and stripy sleeves, which is the fabric I bought from Ray Stitch. I've got just enough of it left to do some sleeves for me on my Agnes top. I've also cut out for William a fleecy jumper. Using that Simplicity pattern that I showed you the other week, I've cut out the fleece jumper and I have cut out the hood for it as well. So we'll see if that works. It's said to be done in a stretch fabric. It's a top to be done in a stretch fabric, but I figured the fleece has got just enough give that hopefully it'll work. So we'll see if that one works. So that's all the cutting out, I hope. I don't think I've missed anything. Excuse the rustling of the bag. Quick look, just make sure I haven't missed anything. Nope, that's all the cutting out. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks now, either at the farm or at home with my overlocker, now I've worked it out, I will be able to sew all those together. But I find that the cutting out is the biggest part for me. I find it tedious. So I cut out all the patterns and all the fabric all in one day. The other bit of sewing I've got to do, I have dyed up, excuse me leaning over, I have dyed up this great big bedspread. It was originally a cream, just a cheapy bedspread from IKEA, but I've dyed it up into a purple for our bedroom, and I'm going to applique on some of, excuse me, there's going to be more rustling now, some of the bedroom curtain fabric. So I will applique on strips of that to tie it into the bedroom. So that's one of my other jobs to do, but that's going to be left at the farm. Not going to be carting that back and forth home, mainly because it drives James a little bit mad, I think, when I cart everything back and forth all the time. So that's sewing. Acquisitions then. Acquisitions this week, or this fortnight. I haven't really bought anything other than the curtain poles to put the curtains up. There's been no purchases, no fabric, no wool. So doing quite well on working from stash on that front. So on to shop update. Not a huge amount gone into the shop this week. Because of being away, we haven't got internet down here at the farm yet. So I've managed to upload a vintage snug hat pattern that I've written. So that's in my Etsy shop on Tyddyn Bryn on Etsy, and I'm Tyddyn Bryn on Ravelry, and or Ellie Smallcombe. I think my pattern design name's probably down as Ellie Smallcombe. And I'm also on Love Knitting as Ellie Smallcombe. So it's on all of those different shop faces, if you like. And that's the shop update for the week. So that's about it, I think, for the podcast this week. Been busy down the farm. So hopefully you'll stick around and watch the farm update now. That's a mixture of videos, photos, a few more videos that I've taken through the week that we've been here. So I hope you Okay, so we're standing in the middle of our tree planting. The tree planting happened on Friday, just gone. And they planted the trees all the way along the edge of the big field. Right the way down to the woodland. So we're going to have a new strip of woodland here. The trees themselves, at the moment, are these very tiny little whips. So... and they're caned and tree wrapped. So it's going to be interesting to see how these all grow. There's a very dirty sucky. It's rather muddy up here at the moment. So yes, this is the first part in the big field of our tree planting. Right, we've walked across now to the ash, which forms the start of the hedge line that we're going to replant. And there's more of our trees. All the way off down to the end of the field, and the little canes with the yellow markers on, there's one there, is going to be the boundary of our fence line, which should be being put in now in the next couple of weeks, I hope. So here is one of our boundary hedges that we've had cut this week. There's William in the background there. He's up being held by Daddy, wearing one of Daddy's hats because Mummy forgot his hat. So yeah, tractor's been out and has cut the hell out of our hedges. Oh! Right, now we're in the smaller field. There we go. Nice, neat, scalped hedgerow all the way round. We've got a few standards in the corner there. Yeah, all the way round. It's James and the baby. There we go. Nice and neat and scalped. They've had a really good hard cut back. In some of the hedges, don't know if we're going to see it in this one now, you can really see, here we are, you can really see where they were laid a few years ago. So you can see in there all the laid branches where they laid the hedgerows, which we're hoping to have redone in a couple of years. Right, we are now behind the slurry pit. There's the dog again. And this is the new planting that's gone in all the way along, roughly on the line of that elder that's there, which will now form a woodland edge tree. So it's the behind the slurry pit. We're going to tackle that bit of hedging ourselves. But there we go, our new planting. That goes then all the way along to that pylon and down. Sorry, excuse the wobbly camera. It's a bit of a squidgy, knobbly field to walk across. So I hope you enjoyed those farm updates. I'll put a few photos and things that I've taken as well on the blog over on WordPress, and I hope to see you again in a fortnight. Happy knitting, sewing, whatever you happen to be doing.